Well, welcome back everyone, and those of you who are new, welcome. We are in the middle of a series of making an Amazon envelope journal, and we have used a large jumbo Amazon envelope for our cover, and then we've used an assorted array of smaller return envelopes glued together to form the core of our interior journal. And we are busy now decorating it, and we are partway through. If for some reason you missed those previous videos, I'll have them linked in the description box below. Be sure and go watch them and catch up with us. Now we are at a stage where today we're going to be finishing off the envelopes by covering the inside. You see there's an envelope there, and it forms a pocket for our journal. And we've covered the top portion, but now we want to cover that portion underneath. And so we have one there, we have another one here of a different shape, and we have another one here with a smaller opening, and a large one here. Not quite as large an opening as we have over here, but nevertheless needs to be covered. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 on this side, and then when we turn it to the back side, we're going to have this flap from this envelope over here. We don't have flaps elsewhere, but we do have one here. I think we'll maybe deal with that one first and get it squared away, and then move on to the ones on the other side. I have already torn off bits of fabric that I thought would look good. You would be seeing just this portion of the journal when you open it up, and I wanted something that would contrast so that we would really definitely see the shape of the underside of the flap. All we're going to do is we're going to use our fabric glue, and we're going to tuck it. I need it to go that way. We're going to tuck it. I think I'll put this frayed edge inside. When you are gluing on the top or bottom of an envelope, you have to make sure that you don't accidentally glue your flap shut when you wanted it open. I almost did that. So I'm going to tuck this in a ways on this top end, and then I will pull off what I don't need as I get down to the bottom. So I've found the easiest way to do it is to not put the glue on the fabric, but to put it on the paper. That way you have it right where you want it, and the paper doesn't scoot around on you and so on and so forth, so it really is even easier to get the glue applied where you want it. So we're going to go slightly under, and I'm not concerned with getting all of the fabric, I'm not concerned with getting all of the fabric glued down underneath. As long as I get some of it, that's just going to be good enough to hold all of it in there. You can only go so far back with your glue dispenser anyway. Okay. Now I want to leave enough on top so that I can trim it off. To the exact shape. You have to work, you know, not super fast, but fast enough so that your glue doesn't dry out on you before you get it stuck down. But I'd rather have my fabric a little longer than I need than to wind up short. I can always add more glue. Now, it's a rather easy matter. To snip off the part we don't need. Have a little curve there I want to maintain. And there's a slight curve right here at the apex. Someone's at my door ringing. Or my husband coming and going. Okay, that wasn't bad, was it? So now when we look at this inside portion, which we probably would only be looking at this much of it, I think that comes together rather nice. So this is what it looks like when the flap is closed and you open it up, and there's obvious a really nice pocket there. I did earlier off camera lay down some washi tape here. I'm not sure I'm happy with that. It doesn't provide much of a contrast. I may change that out, but for now I'm going to live with it. But I just want to point out that you can use washi tape for those places as well as fabric or other paper. I think I'm missing a place there that I'll have to take care of. We're going to flip now to the other side. I'm going to stop this a brief minute. Okay, I'm back. And so now we'll just take this one place at a time. There's not going to be very much of this that will show. So I'm going to need to go down about this far. I'm going to clip it a little longer than I think I need. I don't need it that wide, but you know, when someone pulls this up, it would be nice to see more of it behind there. We don't need to see this printed. Oh, I don't need that glue. I need my fabric glue. All right, here we go. Number 2. I see I have a window on the other side of this particular envelope, and my fabric that I'm going to be putting down inside here may extend further down, intruding on that window. But fortunately, this particular window envelope does not have cellophane over it, so if it does intrude, I should be able to easily cut off the portion I need. I think the most difficult part is getting it started and getting your fabric in there far enough before it starts to, the glue starts to set up on you. Come on. Once you get it started, it usually settles in there quite quickly and easily. And I need to clip off a little bit more here. Then I like to take this burnisher I have and kind of go over it. It can get into that corner easier than I can get in there with my finger. So there we have that. And you see, I said it was going to intrude on my window envelope there. Oh, we'll just cut that away. I haven't yet decided what other embellishments, including what goes behind these little windows, that I'm going to use. I would like to obviously have imagery that is color coordinated and looks and feels right for the personality. I'd like to infuse a little humor if I can, but that's all going to depend on the imagery I can find to stick in there. Okay, that one's done. I think we'll kind of touch up just the edges here. I wanted to be careful with my glue and not get it on this other envelope. And I don't mind if there's some rough overlap. That's part of being a little grungy. I'm going to blacken this little bit of white of the envelope that's showing, rather than try to cut that all off. Sometimes just easier to go in with a marking pen and touch up what you need that way. Right, so far so good. Next we have a deeper V-cut And so I think I'm going to try to cut a little bit more off on this one end so it's going to be easier to tuck when I finally get down here. Even if you try to get a real precision cut, your fabric is often going to stretch while you're gluing, and you'll wind up discovering you got to do some trimming anyway. Here we go on the next one. I'm using the same fabric that I used for background on this other side because it's very color coordinated with all the imagery. But by doing that repetition, which is very subtle, I bring unity to the whole look of the open spread when somebody has it all open and looking at it all together. So now this has to be slipped in quite far due to the depth of that V shape. So we got that in pretty well. If you get started at an angle, it will get worse as you go. So you want to correct your angle right away when you see it's kind of going off to one side. Now I trimmed that originally down to where I would only have maybe about 1/4 of an inch, and you can see how much this fabric has stretched as I've been putting it in there, because now I have, you know, a good 1/2 inch to trim off. A little more touch up here. Some fabrics obviously will stretch more than others. So as you can see, once this piece is inserted in there, we'll have a really nice unified open spread here. Now on this one, I do not need near this much fabric, and I think if I leave it there, It's just going to make it harder to insert it. Tearing that down a bit. And this is the second place where I folded the fabric over on the top side here, so we would definitely see a very specific difference between the top of the envelope and the back side. Okay, here we go. I want a bit of an overlap here. I'm completely covering up that blue envelope. And you're not even really going to notice that there's two pieces of fabric, since they're the same. It's the same fabric. Cut off a little more. And a quarter of an inch. And I'm going to come back in now and secure this edge down so it doesn't work its way up and cause a problem when it starts getting used by somebody, me or somebody else. Okay, there we have that. And I guess I'm upside down. We have a unique shape going on here for this pocket, and a different one over here. Got a little glue coming that came through there, made kind of a spot, but I may, put some lace there or some ephemera to cover that, or at least pull the attention away from it. This is the inside, and then there is this, and we have this section over here yet to do to cover that. I have to turn these upside down because I'm right-handed and I like working from the top down. believe this is the last one for this particular spot. Well, on this side. But I think I found one I didn't know I had, that I'm unprepared for. So when I get this laid in, I'll probably take a pause and find some fabric or paper for that spot, and then we'll essentially be done with covering the backgrounds, and we'll be able to move to how we embellish it with specific ephemera. This is a little tighter opening here. It's not giving me... That's the problem with these shorter envelopes, is you can't open them up as far as you can the larger envelopes to get inside, to do some work inside. So that, even though they're smaller, from that standpoint, they're a little harder to work with. I have a window on this one as well, and it is infringing on my window, but that's okay. When you get all done, it's my advice to spend some time going over the edges of every inch of your journal and your cover, front and back, to make sure that your edges are secure and covered the way you want them. It's easy to miss them unless you dedicate some specific time to doing nothing else but checking on your edges. See here, I need to bring in some more glue right along in here. All right. No, you're not part of the journal. Stay out. So, here's where we are at this point. I'm going to pull out the cover. We have two covers, an outer cover. This is our Amazon envelope that we've covered. We'll open it up. This will all be attached eventually. So we have an inside cover, that's the duplicate of what's on the outer cover. And we'll open it up. And right now this is detached, but it will be attached at the end. And so we flip that out, and we see this. We have 2 windows to do. Oh, I need to cut that away. And we open it up this way. We have a pocket here and a pocket here. We open it further, a pocket here and a pocket here. And of course you can add ephemera and additional pockets if you wish. I don't know what's happened to my voice. Okay, so then we flip it again and we come to the back side. We have a pocket here to take care of. I already put on this piece of paper. It's a digiprint from my kit, and I already glued it down, and the opposite side of the same sheet is glued on the flip side. I do have to put something in there. Guess I didn't notice it because it was just white, but I want a little tiny pattern of something going there. I will add more ephemera, but I will do that in my final video, which will be the next one. So at this point, except for that one little spot, we have all of the background laid in. And so you would see this and close that up, close it up with the back inside cover, and then close it fully this way. Okay, this shows you where we're going and where we have yet to go, and I think that I should definitely be able to finish that up in the next segment. So with that said, please like and share, comment, ask questions, look at the previous videos. Links are in the description box, and visit my Etsy shop if you want any of the paper or ephemera that you see me using. Most of it will be available to you there. That said, this is Miss Darling in the studio, calling this a wrap. Bye-bye.